Hey, it's Aaron Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer, motivational speaker. It's review day! Is the Nixwax waterproofing for leather really worth it on these boots? Let's find out. Is the Nixwax waterproofing wax for leather really worth it? Well, let's check it out on these boots. My Keens that I've hiked around the world with on Kilimanjaro, and where else have I been? In Russia and Elbrus. I've been all over the place. So this is one of the products I've used, and I decided to review it for you today to see is it really worth it. So one of the questions is, what type of waterproofing product do you use on your leather boots? Now, these leather boots say, let's see right here, Keen Dry waterproof, right? Absolutely. So why do you need to put waterproofing stuff on waterproof boots? Well, the waterproof in waterproof boots is from, I can't really see it in there, but there's usually some sort of Gore-Tex liner or something in there that makes these guys waterproof. However, the leather will actually soak up water as you're walking along from rain or muck or whatever. And as a consequence, let me adjust the camera there, that leather will get wet and it'll start to pressure the water through the Gore-Tex. Now, theoretically, water doesn't go through Gore-Tex, but it actually does. It's kind of weird. In order for Gore-Tex to work, you have to be hot and steamy and then the water comes out. But if it's already blocked in this barrier of leather, which is already soaked, your feet are actually going to get wet, not from the water coming outside, but from your sweat and perspiration from hours and hours of hiking. So, is it actually silly to have waterproof boots? No. I run with two different circumstances of boots and then use different waterproofing products for both of them. One is I use my Merrell, it's like a Moab ventilator in the summer whenever I can, because I'm hiking along, they're very meshy, keeps my feet cool. I should have grabbed them, but they're real meshy. One of the challenges is that dust particulates get through there and it makes my feet dirty and black and you get blisters, and they're useless for getting in creeks or crossing anything. They'll soak up water and stay wet. So if I know I'm going to be in a potentially wet location, I'll bust out with my next level of the Keen waterproof boots, and so far so good. I really like these. I'll leave a link below to these boots. They took a little bit to break in. I was going to get really worried, but so far I've been very happy, and there will also be a link to the Nixwax below. And I'm going to show you actually how this stuff works. So why do you use this? To keep the leather waterproof, to not only protect it and prevent the water from going through, but protect your feet, but also to protect the leather to give it a longer longevity or something, whatever they say in there. So the waterproof boot manufacturers actually say you should add some supplement to this. Now, if you like the real light leather cover, let me say that again, the light leather color in boots, you cannot use this, or I've got some other I'm looking over my shelf here, some other waterproofing boots. Doesn't happen, because as soon as you put this on, that light leather look will go to a dark leather look permanently. So you must be aware of that. When you buy these boots off the shelf, they do not look this dark. I actually like that super dark finished, I don't know, it's a patent leather sort of look, but I actually prefer that. Even though the lighter boot look looks pretty, over time it gets wet and mucked up, and it's like, well, okay, there you are. So instead I roll with this. So what I'm going to do is show you how this works. Now, I've used this quite a bit. I mean, you got to make sure to shake it up because it does separate in there. Nixwax waterproofing, it's, let's see, no propellants, non-persistent, chlorocarbon-free, environmentally safe, not tested on animals. Nevertheless, I wouldn't eat it. Now, this isn't a screw-off lid. In fact, this is a pull-off lid, so let me show you here. Okay, there you go. And you can see this little spongy applicator with the little hole there. So when you apply this, and we'll bring this guy down here, and you'll notice little needly guy in there, yeah, to keep that hole open. There we go. So let me lower the camera and I'll show you what the experience of applying this stuff is like, and then you can judge for yourself. All right, let me lower the camera even more. That way you can get it at my working level and it's not so awkward and looking down. So one moment. There we go. Okay. Dum 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 dum. Alrighty. So one of the nice things about using these waterproofing products is that, turn the camera, is that you can actually at least partially waterproof your bootlaces, which is really nice. Actually, here, let me get down there. Oh, cool, check that out. So what you do, and you can see I've been grunging around Oregon a bit. It's wet here to say the least in the winter. Holy schmoly. So what you do is you just gently, now you can also see I've used some rubberization stuff on here because I've used these enough where the boot actually started to separate from the leather. That's another matter. So you just squeeze some out. Whoops, too much. Whoa. All right. That is more than enough. So I wouldn't squeeze any more, and you just literally rub this stuff in. Now, you can see I've already put a layer on there, so you can actually see, where is it? That it's not totally soaking in because I've already put a layer of this stuff on here. And you just want to scrub that around on the leather and maybe give it a little more squeeze. And now, is it kind of ugly and gross looking? Yeah, it is. If you want something not as gross looking, you gotta go with the Oban. But for this purpose, I actually like this easier simply because I can apply it in wet or cold conditions. Now, please note that as a full disclosure, I am not supported by Nixwax. They are not a sponsor of me, so this is just a fair and honest review. I don't receive any money for these things. Other than, I suppose, if you click on the link and then I receive like 1 cent commission through Amazon, but you know that's neither here nor there. But Nixwax isn't paying me for this review at all, so just see that it's honest and fair. Plus, I'm a polar adventurer and professional traveler, so I want to give you my honest review. I don't put up a bunch of bogus BS stuff just to make myself look better. I don't like to do that. I don't like to make claims that I skied all the way across a continent when I didn't. You know, that sort of junk. So, all right, and I'll just do one boot just so you can see the process. You don't need to see me doing the other boot here. Okay, so you scrub this on here, and I actually don't mind getting it on the cloth here at all, because then it creates a little bit of a waterproof layer. Some people say don't, but I can never be waterproof enough. And I definitely like to get this on the tongue leather if at all possible. You're going to get your fingers a little dirty doing this. Absolutely. And you know, what's wrong with a little bit of dirt, right? Because you can always wash your hands. Okay, so the instructions say, let's see. Shake well before using. Rub the wax thoroughly into wet or dry, which is pretty nice. And then clean leather using either a sponge applicator or your fingers, paying special attention to the seams. That's where most of the water gets in that I've experienced, is it runs right through the seams of your boots. Then remove any excess with a cloth and buff to a shine. Note, may darken leather? No. Will darken leather. No question about it. So if you don't like the dark leather look, yeah, you got a problem. Let's see, test on a hidden area first, like in here or something, just in case you don't like the look. And the waterproofing wax will convert nubuck, that brown tan, to a smooth, waxy finish. And that once you do that, there's a one-way trip, so just know that. So this stuff is thoroughly all over the boot, which is just fine. I don't use a cloth because eventually it kind of wipes out. I just use paper towels and I get that in there and I rub this a lot. And you'll see, because I've already put it on, you get a pretty high waxy look. And it's going to take me some time to get this stuff off, because once I rub it in there, it gives it almost that rubberized sort of shine look. But I know, even though you got that look, that, all right, that my boots will be seriously waterproof, which is exactly what I like when I'm walking around in rainy Oregon or snowy Wyoming or humid wherever. This is just the way it works. Now you can see, because I've recently applied this and just decided to make a video, that it's going to take me a little bit to get that out. And you're going to have to get an old toothbrush or something to get the wax out of there, because eventually it does darken down to this kind of gross sort of yellow looking stuff. So you want to get an old toothbrush and you want to be able to scrub this stuff out. But as you can see on the part of the leather where I've got that all in, now theoretically if I spit on it, there you go, spit, doesn't seem to wash in at all, just waxes right off, all good, booyah. So I've used the Nixwax waterproofing wax for leather quite a few times, and I definitely like the product. It's available at your local sports stores. I'm going to put a link to Amazon below so you can click it there. If you want to hit subscribe, check out more of my reviews, motivation and travel videos. You'll get an update every so often from from YouTube, so that's real handy. But I definitely recommend this product for leather boots. It's going to take me a bit to scrub it off, but that's just part of the deal. So you put a little bit of work in now, and then when you're outside, your feet aren't wet. Yeah! My name is Aaron Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and motivational speaker. Please like and comment on my video. Subscribe to the channel below. Please support me on Venmo, PayPal, and Patreon. Thank you very much for watching.